Hey everyone, I've got some exciting AI news for you today. OpenAI is releasing GPT 5.5, its smartest and most intuitive model yet. This is a big step forward because GPT 5.5 can understand what you're trying to do faster and take on more of the work by itself. It's stronger at coding, research, data analysis, creating documents and spreadsheets, and even working across different tools to finish a task. In simple terms, you can give it a messy, multi-step job and it's better at planning, figuring things out, and checking its work. For creators, developers, businesses, and everyday users, this could be a major upgrade in how we get work done with AI. Now, this table is basically showing how GPT 5.5 performs on different real-world skill tests. I have translated the evaluation test names to something relatable so anyone can understand this table. And I see a lot of people skipping over these numbers, but I want to spend some time on this. The simple takeaway is this. These tests are checking whether the model can actually do useful work, not just answer trivia questions. Terminal bench tests how well the model can use a computer terminal, run commands, fix issues, and complete technical tasks. Expert SWE measures advanced software engineering, so things like understanding large code bases, debugging, and making reliable code changes. GDP Valve looks at professional knowledge work. Can the model handle tasks that resemble real job, like analysis, writing, planning, and problem solving? OS World Verified tests computer use, meaning whether the model can navigate software, click around, use apps, and finish tasks on screen. Toolathlon checks how well it can use different tools together, which matters because real work often means switching between apps, files, browser, and data. BrowserComp measures web search, finding information online, comparing sources, and answering accurately. Frontier Math tests very difficult math and reasoning, from challenging problems to much more advanced ones. CyberGym checks cybersecurity skills in controlled tests like finding vulnerabilities and reasoning through security problems. So now I don't want you to spend and look at these numbers and compare it with different models. Let's just think about one thing. So what does this really mean? GPT-5 is being tested less like a chatbot and more like a worker. The goal is not just can it talk well, but can it use tools, solve problems, handle messy tasks, and keep going until the work is done. And this is probably one of the most important parts of the release. OpenAI is saying 5.5 is not just smarter, it's also more efficient. In simple terms, it can get to a better answer using fewer steps, fewer retries, and fewer tokens. Now, tokens are basically the pieces of text the AI reads and writes. So when a model uses fewer tokens, it usually means the task can be completed faster, cleaner, and often at a lower cost. That matters a lot for real work. If you're coding, researching, analyzing data, or creating documents, you don't just want an AI that talks more. You want one that gets the job done with less back and forth. So the big message here is 5.5 can produce higher quality work while being more efficient. And for creators, developers, businesses, that means better results, less wasted time, and potentially lower costs when using AI at scale. Now, there is one important thing to keep in mind. GPT 5.5 may be more efficient, but it is not necessarily cheaper. OpenAI lists 5.5 at $5 per 1 million input token and $30 per 1 million output token. Claude Opus 4.7 is listed at $5 per 1 million input token and $25 per 1 million output token. So the real question is not just which model has the cheaper token price, it's how many tokens does it actually need to finish the job. If 5.5 solves a task faster with fewer retries and less output, the total cost could still make sense. But if you're using it for long responses, heavy generation, or lots of output, it might end up costing more, even though it uses fewer tokens overall. So the balanced takeaway is 5.5 looks more capable and more efficient, but users and business will still need to watch the actual bill. Better performance does not automatically mean lower cost. Alright, this part is about coding. OpenAI is saying that 5.5 is much better at agentic coding, which simply means it can work more like an AI developer, understand a coding task, use tools, run commands, fix errors, and keep going until the problem is solved. The important detail is that it performs better while using fewer tokens. So it's not just writing more code or taking longer to think. It's getting to stronger results with less back and forth. In simple terms, 5.5 is becoming better at finishing real coding tasks end to end and not just suggesting code snippets. So what's interesting is that the early feedback is not just the benchmarks are higher. The companies testing 5.5 are basically saying it feels more dependable on real coding work. It stays focused longer, handles messy tasks, and is better at understanding the full system instead of only fixing one small piece. The common theme is autonomy. It can merge complicated changes, spot bugs earlier, reason through ambiguous instructions, and carry bigger tasks closer to completion without constant hand-holding. So the big takeaway is developers are describing 5.5 less like an autocomplete tool and more like a coding partner that can actually follow the problem, make decisions, and keep working when things get complex. Alright, so this part is about GPT 5.5 moving beyond coding into regular office work. In simple terms, OpenAI is saying 5.5 is better at understanding what you want, finding the right information, using tools, and turning messy inputs into useful outputs. So instead of only helping with code, it can help create documents, spreadsheets, slide decks, reports, research, summaries, and business plans. The important part is that OpenAI says teams are already using it in real workflows. It's analyzing months of data, reviewing thousands of tax documents, building automated Slack processes, and saving hours every week on recurring reports. So the big takeaway is GPT 5.5 is not just for developers. It's being positioned as a general work assistant that can help with the kind of computer tasks people do every day. Here, OpenAI is basically explaining different versions. 5.5 thinking is the version meant for harder problems inside ChatGPT. It gives more thoughtful, concise help for things like coding, research, analysis, and document-heavy work. 5.5 Pro is the heavier duty version. It's meant for more demanding tasks where you need deeper, more complete, and more accurate answers, especially in areas like business, legal work, education, and data science. And the benchmarks here are showing the same idea. 5.5 is not just answering questions. It's being tested on real professional workflows like office work, customer support, finance tasks, and using a computer on its own. 5.5 is rolling out to all paid users first. In ChatGPT, 5.5 thinking is for Plus, Pro, Business, and Enterprise users. 5.5 Pro is for Pro, Business, and Enterprise. In Codex, 5.5 comes with a 400K context window, plus a fast mode that is quicker but more expensive. And as of April 24th, 5.5 and 5.5 Pro are now also available in the API. And that's the big picture on GPT 5.5. It looks like a major step forward in coding, research, computer use, and everyday knowledge work. But of course, benchmarks and announcements are one thing. The real question is how it performs when we put it side by side with older models. So in the next video, I'll be testing GPT 5.5 against previous models with real tasks to see how big the upgrade actually feels. So in the next video, I'll be testing GPT 5.5 against previous models with real tasks to see how big the upgrade actually feels. If you found this useful, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.